damning investigation by the Commission for Gender Equality has unveiled concerning, to say the least, concerning trends at institutions of higher learning around the country. The report has highlighted various incidents of sexual harassment, exploitation, and students engaging in sex work for survival. Let's bring in the Commission's spokesperson, Javu Baloyi. It's a pleasure talking to you. An incredibly important story. What led the Commission to look into this issue?
Michelle, the Commission was informed by a myriad of issues. Since 2012, we have been engaging all the 24 universities in South Africa insofar as issues of gender transformation. And we have picked up that, there are issues of sexual harassment, gender-based violence in totality within the universities. However, our research department decided to embark on a research on 3 universities, Solpilaki, Nelson Mandela University, and Northwest University, whereby we found very disturbing and alarming issues that are issue of concern to us as the Commission for Gender Equality. Hence, we released a report and we had a dialogue, and we were continuously engaging with universities on mechanism how to address such a thing, which is a microcosm of what happens in our society today. And yet it's a worrying trend, because university is supposed to be conducive. Universities should be an area of learning and teaching whereby our kids and those, the lecturers themselves, should be safe to partake in whatever they need to do in terms of learning and teaching. However, those reports, Michelle and the viewers, are very damning.
Yeah, and I want to just focus on Nelson Mandela University for a moment, because it was, perhaps when someone is listening to this conversation, they might expect that primarily it's lecturers involved in this kind of behavior with students. But this is students who are in leadership positions who have abused those positions, essentially to demand first-year students to give them sexual favors in return for things like accommodation.
Yes, Michelle. Those people were also. We mustn't also. It's an indictment to the university authorities. It's at large, and those that are responsible for allocating residences. Remember, it's not lectural. There's executives. There's a housing committee that does that. It means somehow, somewhere, they were allowed to be law unto themselves. They were allowed to run along with these issues. Yet it was reported to them. It was known. It's a non-factor that every year, not only on Nelson Mandela University, even my alma mater, University of Venda, and others, where first-year students, are at the receiving end of the Student Representative Council. Not only that, senior students. It means also somehow there's a system that is not working, which needs to be tightened, that SRC people shouldn't be playing a very, very direct role in allocating rooms. How do you then make somebody you are a sex slave at university because you allocated them room, and in the name of being you are in the SRC? That is a very, very worrying and damning to the University of Nelson Mandela University, and they need to change the approach. We are working with them so that they change these policies, they change the way in which the rooms are being allocated. We cannot have a child coming from far Limpopo to Nelson Mandela University and that student become a sex slave for someone because they allocated them room. It can't be. It's very unfair, it's very unjust, and it needs to be condemned by all.
So what did Nelson Mandela University say about the fact that they gave these rooms? They essentially gave the student leadership control of handing out rooms to first-year students when there are university-mandated committees that are set to do that.
Michelle, what the Nelson Mandela University have done is saying they're going to tighten the systems. They're going to work with the Commission for Gender Equality and other related bodies. This is supposed to be an internal overhaul of the policies, and look at the people who were found to be wanting, who were at the wrong. We want them to establish toll-free numbers. So that, we nip this in the bud. It's not only these universities. We must also say it's not only these universities. All the 24 universities, it's happening. But, we are grateful and glad that there's some efforts being made. When on the 10th, when we had the policy dialogue, various universities were logged online. We have called them to come and listen. And some of them, they were aware, and we have been engaging with them through our legal department to say, what are the systems need to be changed? And there's a willing, and also the Department of Higher Education must come on board on this and whip them to line to say, universities, you are also home away from this, away from home for the students. And then you allow them committing suicide. Some of them, finding them by the street. And we did not understand the rationale behind. We're not criticizing only, but we are going to get engaged and ensure that things are done in the right way.
Javu Baloyi, I have to apologize. We are struggling with our connection to you, but I want to just, if I may, perhaps give it a second to stabilize, because there are two questions that I need to ask you that are quite important. Part of what your investigation also uncovered was that students were also being harassed on the basis of their sexuality. Security personnel, for example, not taking same-sex relationship cases seriously with the belief that there cannot be violence, for example, from one woman against another woman. That's just one example. Was that also concentrated at Nelson Mandela University? I'm reading through your report here, yes, and I'm just seeing NMU come up with all of the issues that you flagged.
Yes, it is. It is the case. Not only that, Eastern Cape, it's a problem on its own. Let alone Nelson Mandela University. Even when we did a study on communal land, the issue of LGBTIQA plus persons was of greater concern to us. The security personnel being hired at the Nelson Mandela University are the problem themselves. Even the head of security. It is something that needs to be looked. They need to decode the language and understand the gender nuance. I just think they need to be told about the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, because they're discriminatory in their approach, and it's hate crime on its own. And the university can be sued through the security. So it's a norm which is pervasive, and it's finding its root in the Eastern Cape, in various spheres of the Eastern Cape, particularly in the Nelson Mandela University. So it is something that we are going to engage with them. Bring awareness, bring capacity, ensure that the securities themselves, the judgment that they're passing on LGBTI people, it's very sad. It can make some even quit schooling by the manner in which they are made to believe that they are of lesser human being because of their sexual orientation. So it is a concern, Michelle, something that all of us we need to engage upon and change the mindset of people. It's worse being at the university. We ask ourselves, how did these security companies get to be employed at this university? Meanwhile, they've got biasness, they've got hatred towards LGBTIA plus Q persons.
I can't imagine, Javu, that this investigation by the Commission for Gender Equality will end here. Surely there will be formal charges.
Yes, it's not going to end here. We have started engaging. The chairperson, Advocate Sipanya Mukhale, has also met with the Deputy Minister of Higher Education on some of these reports from the Commission for Gender Equality. We are going to have accountability engagement with duty bearers. We are not going to end it here, because gone are the days whereby reports will garner dust and then nothing is happening. We will be monitoring, we will be engaging, we will have our own provincial offices will also ensure the universities closer to them, they also to disseminate a certain element of the report. And people were baffled when they heard the land of such things, as if they don't work in those universities, as if they were hearing it for the first time. So it is shocking that, people to us to say, no, you should have engaged us in a different manner. These things, we're trying to address them. We cannot ship things like sexual harassment need to be arrested so that we can create that conducive environment, a society free of gender oppression and gender inequalities within the spheres of universities. So it's a reflection of us as people, and we have taken it very far to universities, and we need to nip it in the bud.
Javu Baloyi is the spokesperson for the Commission for Gender Equality, a really damning report by the Commission finding at various universities around the country sex for accommodation, rape, harassment, hate crimes, just some of the findings by this investigation. And Javu Baloyi telling us it won't end here. There will certainly be formal charges being laid.